Hello, and thank you for watching my video. This is another in the series looking at the hidden gems of Guild Wars 2. And today we're actually going to be looking at the Ranger and seeing some of the interesting animations that you actually get with the Ranger. Because I feel some of them aren't really, they're not really appreciated for how good they are. So you can see here I'm on my Char Ranger, and I wanted to show you some of the different specs we've got. I'll be going through, we've got an axe and dagger that we can go and have a look at. I might have to swap onto a different character to look at some of the other animations. But let's have a look and start with the longbow. You know, your typical one, you look there, if you just look at the animation of this bow as well, the fact that the spring pulls back, it goes forward, and the actual whole bow vibrates as well. I mean, that is incredible, like, sort of detailing on it. If you just see a little bit of a different view here, you can see the bow wobbling, and I think the outers, the two sort of the top and the bottom actually ping back and go forward again. So that's pretty cool. Really quite you know, the way they've developed that. Obviously you've got the super fast pew pew bow, the rapid fire. It's also, you really get an idea of how the top and the bottom ping backwards and forwards so much. If you do it again, watch the top and the bottom, you'll see there that both forward, boom, 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 boom. You know, that's proper pew pew action. Again, we've got just an average shot. We've got this sort of, you know, the point blank shot, and then we've got barrage. I mean, that is pretty cool. You look up in the sky and you really fire a hell of a lot of arrows down. The healing skill is pretty standard. You've got this ring around. I've talked about that in a previous one. You got these cool little animations that you got, you know, like, yeah. Oh, look at that. The size of it. You actually get really, really big when you do this. I mean, it is pretty cool. You know, you get that. You actually pull down with this point blank shot. I think it's the arrow he pulls down, or she in this case, is this special white arrow, and it really does force someone back. So if we watch it again, here we go. You know, that is pretty impressive how it pings away. And then we got this another signet of stone. I love the jump up and down to put these, you know, sort of entanglement thorns out. So that's pretty cool. You can see that. Obviously, if you do, you've got pet animations unique to the Ranger. So you got the little howl. Generally, they do sort of the howls with these ones, and you bring up an ally. But generally, the Ranger skills are pretty cool. The one I do like is on the Greatsword. I'm going to try and do it. It's this one here, Maul. Just watch my character's facial expression. I don't think you can quite see it there. But this one's cool. I love the one you grab hold of the sword. It's like, yeah, it's like, no, it's my sword. Let's try and see the face again. I wonder if we can really see it. Yeah, I might have to slow this down so you can see. You've obviously got swoop, where you really, you know, slam down on it. But let's have a look at from the top more. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to see it on this. I think I'm probably have to swap characters. But you really do. You see the Char really do let out a big yell. You know, I'll try and come up from this one. But I like from this view. So here we go again. We'll go Maul again. Rah. But I like this one here. You know, it's like my sword, no one else's sword. It's just pretty cool. You got the donk, that little bunk on the top of the head. That's pretty enjoyable as well. Most of these other animations, they're like summon the spirits, so I'm not really going to go into it. So I've got lightning reflexes, the sparks of lightning. You know, these are to do with the traps, so they just emit field, so there's nothing real interesting there. And these are all to do with the pet skills that you let out a little noise, so I'm not really going to cover too much of that. But generally, the Rampage of 1 is interesting, because when you do that, you get this big roar, and like you become all glowy and red, and like you've got this rampaging going on. Your pet's rampaging, and you know you're on a, you know, real big sort of a charge, and you can do more damage. Because you're like sort of a fire with this rampaging redness. So yeah, I quite like some of the Ranger animations. I'm going to reset that back to that one there. Oh no, it's not that one. It was this one. So just give me that bit of speed. So what we're going to do, we're going to swap over this. We're going to go dagger and... Oh, I haven't sold that there yet. So there we go. We've got dagger and the axe. So here we go. We'll do the axe skill. Just chuck off an axe. There we go. Throw it. It's interesting that overarm, underarm, overarm. Is there? Did you do it? There you go. So it's underarm and overarm. So it's a bit of a mixture. You know, you got different. You can throw it overarm or underarm. So it's quite interesting difference there. We've got skill 2. That's pretty cool. You go behind your back and then fling them out, and you got multiple axes fly out. Winter's Bite, the little cold one because it's all sort of frosty on it. And then I like that one. Sort of the twizzle and stab. Crippling Talon, that's a sort of cool little one where you throw a little dagger away. But yeah, generally these are nice little animations that you've got the 5 axes that come out there. If we watch Stalker Strike again, just a little twist and turn, you know, that's quite handy. And we'll have a look at Crippling Talon, we'll throw that away. Nice, you know, the little rings of where it's going off. So if we have a look at the weapon skills, so we've got sword to do, we've short bow as well. We'll put axe in the offhand. So if we go into the equipment, let's put our axe in the offhand and see what we get out of that. So we have to take off the so there we go. I like this one, Whirling Defense. It's because you're really going flailing these axes around. That's a really good animation, I feel. Path of Scars, it comes back to you. It's like a sort of boomerang type thing. That's quite nice. But again, I wanted to show you Rampage's one because let's have a look at the facial expression. Rah! There you go. Rampage's one. Sorry about that. I do have a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to put the greatsword back on, and what we're going to do, we're going to change character with one of our other ranges. What I'll do, on my as you notice, I've actually got 3 rangers. Because I always wanted a Norn Ranger, so here's my Norn Ranger. A lot of you may have realised that since I last did my video looking at my characters, I've actually changed the armour set. I moved the Ascended armour that I had on my Ranger onto a different character, and I wanted to show off today. We'll be able to show some of the other skills. Remember, these are just some of the animations that we actually get with some of the different professions that we really take for granted and don't really look at that much. So here we've got the dual axes, and we've got a lot of different things because I've been obviously doing the Jormag event, and so here we go. So what we've got here, this is the short bow. So we'll go with the short bow. Again, very similar to the longbow, but a bit less pronounced with the sort of tightening of the bow. So here we go. I do like skill 3, which is where you retreat backwards. It's like a little hop back as you fire forwards. But generally these are pretty bog standard, nothing special. Obviously you've got racial traits, you know, you've got the Call Owl, which does a lot of biting damage, but the other healing skills really nothing special. You've got the Troll and Gwent. There you go, that's quite a pretty standard healing type skill there. So generally nothing else that we can talk about on the I'm going to go salvage that, but yeah, so that's all we've got for now. Okay, so we're going to be talking, we're on our last character here. This is my Ranger, one of the first characters I built, and he's on this sword torch combo. Pretty much because I love the Fiery Dragon sword, and I've got Rodgort here. So let's talk about swords. These, you do this really weird chain where you start kicking people. You do this with the kick, you do the samurai kick. And it can be difficult to stop that chain from actually going off. But this one's cool. You do this hop back and then the leap forward. I love that thrust that he does with his hand, where, you know, sort of, we'll watch it again. If you watch where he does with his, when he goes forward, so he does that swoop, then comes back, and then with a slice down, and then he does that sort of jab forward. That is pretty cool indeed. Skill 3 is quite a nice one, where you go like a little round shot and then come in, like, round this, and boom. So you sort of take evasive action. Skill 4, I'm aiming up higher for some reason. That's a nice little chuck away, and then we've got the little flame thing going on here. So again, they're pretty bog standard, but I like some of the sword skills because they're very swooping generally, and especially the skill 2, as we see again, you know, sort of that leap finisher. Even skill 3. The only downside, I would say, the ranger skills are a bit unpredictable, but generally they are fun to do. And I find the ranger skills, you know, even though you tend to stand a lot at the back, people don't generally tend to see it. I actually feel the ranger skill animations are pretty underrated, especially the, you know, this one here. You even look at the, I've got my destroyer longbow flexing away. You know, it's just, you don't, a lot of people don't tend to take the time to actually examine these skills that the developers have actually spent a lot of time doing. And I think that they're well worth actually looking at the skills that you do, because a lot of designers actually gone in and put a lot of effort into creating something that not only functions really well, but looks pretty cool as well. And remember, the idea is that you actually want to identify and study up all these sort of tells, in inverted commas, so that you, even without, like, if you know all these skill sets, you can identify what a player's about to play. So, if, for example, if I'm about to play Barrage, you know my character's going to bend up and look at the sky, and then you want to get the hell out of the way. So just these sort of tells, you know, the same with like the Elementalist. The Spellcasters tend to have a bit more of longer tells, so you can sort of tell what they're actually about to cast. These sort of melee type attack weapons don't tend to have that same sort of tell that as easy recognizable. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tour around the Ranger. I do think the Ranger needs a bit more loving because he does get a bit of criticism, and I'm hoping seeing some of these skill animations will make people fall back in love with the Ranger. So thanks very much for watching. See you on the next video.